chip number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining, and they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Ervin. Ervin and Curry, one-on-one. Ervin puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Taproom Sports Podcast. I am your host, Jordan, Stacks on Stacks on Stacks Lats, joined with my man, Mr. Big Ballin' Ben Larson. What's going on tonight, Ben?
Not much, man. It has been a great week.
Yes.
I cannot lie. Great week in sports. Gotta love my Dubs. Giants are coming back. I even love that even more.
They lost
Great
today,
golf
though.
today. They did lose today, but that's okay. Dodgers are stuck. Padres are getting hurt.
Dodgers have some big issues, which we're going to get to later.
I love it. And baseball's looking good for me. Basketball was good. Loving this hockey series. Golf was fun. UFC this weekend. College World Series. Stanford got worked, but it's okay. We're coming back strong.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
SEC
Because I'm a little
tough,
worried because Oklahoma looks really good.
Yeah, SEC is tough.
Yeah, well, I mean, the good thing is that like Auburn, they're a little banged up, and they got hot at the right time, which is why they're here. They shouldn't be here. They just got hot at the right time, but they lost their last game, and I think Stanford's the best team in the nation, so they should get there.
Yeah, agreed.
We'll talk about the College World Series a little bit, but you're absolutely right, man. Just a wonderful week. I was on Boston, so that hurt a little bit, but I had my best gambling week of all time, so I cannot be mad. You know what I mean? And it was capped off today with Matt Fitzpatrick winning the U.S. Open.
Yep.
Had him plus 3,400. I did not sit down for an hour and a half for like the back nine, just sweating it out. He hits that tee shot on 18 into the bunker, and I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, I had a great week, dude. I'm not going to be mad. This was plus 3,400, I'm getting greedy. And then he just has one of the most iconic shots probably in U.S. Open history. It's going to go down as one of the most iconic shots, that second shot out of the bunker to get up and down for par. Just an incredible finish, dude. And Zalatoris missing that birdie shot by like an inch, dude.
Yeah, 2 missed shots on 18 by the the two guys that were one back. So
but man, it was a hell of a tournament, dude. That was a really fun last day. And we talked about the Masters before, and we were like, well, not this year, but last year when who was it that won? Morikawa? Or Matsuyama, and he was ahead by like 15 strokes on the last day. It was over. There was no drama. Today was the complete opposite.
Yep. Yeah, excellent. And I love having the live tournament, drama in there as well. Mickelson shot a horrible first 2 days. Didn't even make the cut.
Dustin Johnson too.
Yeah.
He was terrible. Kevin Na was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing with the live tournament, dude, is like they're paying guys to just go on the tournament. It gives them no incentive to be good. And they're like all has-beens on the tour.
I mean, you're still making a lot of money on your placement, so.
Where, in PGA or in live?
In live, yeah.
But I'm saying, like, they're getting so much money just to show up. They get more money to show up than they do for winning a PGA event. So it's
absolutely.
It gives them zero incentive to actually be good at golf.
Yeah. Plus, if you're the last place finisher in a live tour, you're getting 150K. Insane. That's absolutely insane.
It's no incentive for good golf. And even the PGA ratings are down already. So it's like, why is someone going to tune into a golf tournament that isn't good golf? Other than the fact that they may have bet on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't watch every golf tournament, dude. Like, I'm a casual golf viewer. You know what I mean? I just happen to study for 10 minutes. And I was like, I'm going to take the guy that won at this course before. The only guy in the field that won at this course before. Just so happens that dude wins again, Yep. But it was entertaining as from a casual viewer standpoint, dude. Yep. But would I have been watching if Fitzpatrick wasn't a leader? Maybe I might have bet like a last round or something. But man, caught my attention for sure.
Yep. And before we move on, definitely got to shout out Sue Bird. Man,
Sue Bird, yes.
Leaving. I don't know if I'd necessarily say leaving out on top, but man, what a career she's had. I mean, what, 21 years now?
Yeah,
multiple
really
gold medals, multiple
one of the greatest women's players of all time, Ben.
Yep, absolutely.
Also,
gotta give that shout out.
We do have to also shout out the Boston Red Sox for being the first team to take initiative for Albert Pujols on his going away tour. So shout out to the Boston Red Sox. Fucking hate them, and I hate that city, but shout out to them. Before we're gonna get into a lot of sports, we got a lot of sports to talk about, but I'm drinking some good beer tonight. I know you're drinking some good beer.
I'm stoked about both my beers tonight. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, so let's kind of bring in the beer aspect to the podcast. We wanted to make this podcast be something like we were sitting at a bar and drinking beer as we're talking sports. So we are going to incorporate a couple beers into the show. We're going to be drinking them. We're going to be reviewing them. We're going to tell you a little bit about these beers. And then at the end, we'll give them a rating out of 5 to see what we think of these. And really, our main aspect of this is to get you out to those breweries, out to those local tap rooms, bottle shops, and just to support them because they really need our support right now. So definitely go out there, try some beers that we have drinking, see how our numbers compare to yours. Try something new. Let us know what you're drinking. We love all of it. So before we go on and discuss our beers, I got to say that we are sponsored by Tavour tonight. Make sure to go to tavour.com or download the Tavour app. Use promo code Taproom, that's TAPROOM, when signing up, and you get $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more.
Yes.
So Jordan, I see you pouring your first beer of the night.
Yep.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking, this first one is from a brewery that I've never had before, Ben. This is a new one. This is Brasserie St. James.
Okay.
Brasserie St. James. Where are you out of Brasserie St. James? You are out of, is it here? Reno, Nevada.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
I've seen them before, but I've never had any of their beers. So
this is a mixed berry smoothie sour.
There we go.
So it definitely has the body of a smoothie sour.
Yep.
You can see all the stuff in there.
That's a thick boy.
It is very thick. I had a big dinner, so I don't know how this is gonna work, but
I feel you on that.
But we'll see. Yeah, man, looking forward to this one. It smells very good. The can art is awesome. Can we get that
Hell yeah.
focused in there? There we are. Can art is nice, so very much looking forward to this one. What are you sipping on?
So I am drinking, it's called Banana Bread Beer. So this is from Eagle Brewery, and this is out of Bedford, UK. So one of my first UK beers on this podcast. And
Nice.
so this is, they use fresh bananas when brewing this beer. So it is it's interesting to see bananas in a beer that isn't a sour. This is a lager. So, it's going to be, a lighter beer, something that you can drink in hot temperatures. It's 5.2%, but opening up the can, giving it a first smell, you definitely get the aroma of bananas. Not as banana-y as I thought, but it definitely pulls that lager aroma to it. Super clear. Definitely a nice and clear beer that would be an easy drinker. So I'm looking forward to this. 5.2%. It should be a nice and quick and easy drink.
Nice. I don't know if this next part of the podcast is gonna be nice, quick, and easy, but
that's true. Weird to see 11.2 ounce can. Gotta love those European differences. It's so much smaller. I have a
11.2, huh?
Yeah, I have another 12 ounce can here to compare it to. It is definitely
It really is
smaller. Yep. So interesting. But I saw it, UK beer.
Is that a Weight Watcher beer?
No, it isn't.
Oh, okay.
No. So I spent some time at Total Wine this weekend. So I
love that place, bro.
Love Total Wine. Got a bunch of good beers and looking forward to this one. So knew I had to get this one for the podcast.
Hell yeah, man. Looking forward to some of those other beers from there because they always got a nice selection for sure.
Yep.
Can't wait to get back into San Jose in a couple of weeks.
Here we go. we'll take a trip down to. I got a ton of beers for you too. So
Can't wait. Cannot wait. But let's hop into some NBA, Ben. So obviously you alluded to it earlier. Your Golden State Warriors take the finals 4-2. I kind of alluded to this on the show after the Warriors won Game 4. I said it kind of looked like the days were numbered for Boston because they let the opportunity slip away. Jason Tatum did not play well at all.
Yep.
Which is why Boston kind of went home in 6 games. I mean, I'm gonna leave the floor to you because you're the Warriors fan. So, what's your thoughts on this series and like the kind of like placement of this Warriors like dynasty in amongst the NBA?
Yeah, so I mean, this series definitely ended quicker than I thought. I thought we were going to 7 games here, but I think you said it right that Jason Tatum he didn't take a game which superstars really need to do in the playoffs, and that was something that he really missed in this series. And I mean, in Game 6, they came out strong, they came out fast, and I'm really surprised how they just let the Warriors come back and just eat away. And then really second half didn't see. I think they came close to tying up the game in the second half, but single digits. But it wasn't enough, and you really need your superstar to come in and really take action. And with Tatum shooting 36% from the field, 45 from 3, it wasn't the worst shooting percentage, but he just didn't take shots.
Well, I mean, he shot 45% from 3, but then they were taking away the 3 ball and forcing him to shoot inside, and that's where it was an issue. He's shooting 37% from inside the 3-point line.
Yeah,
it's not good.
It was not, and that's something that I really expected him to have a game. Yep. I really expected Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown to take a game. I guess we could probably say that maybe in Game 1 that they took that, but it really surprised me that when crunch time came in, the Boston teams, they just didn't show up, especially at home in Game 6 is definitely rough. And I thought we had a good, at least from the Warriors standpoint, I thought Draymond, he didn't get great point production, but you don't expect that out of Draymond. But I thought you got great defensive production out of Draymond, great defensive production out of Wiggins. Jordan Poole had a decent game in 6, and Steph really took over games 5 and 6, and that was really
4 and 6.
4 and 6.
5 was trash.
Yeah, that's right. But that was really what they needed to push them over the edge. Dynasty, yes, but I don't know how long this team can really continue to push, because the West it does have those teams where they can push if all things are right. You've got Phoenix, you've got Dallas, you've got
Memphis,
and I think Memphis is just getting a year older, which is something that they need. I know Pelicans. Usually you say as teams get older, that's not necessarily a good thing, but in Memphis's,
well, they're so young that they need to get older.
Exactly. Memphis's kind of situation, that's definitely something that's needed. And when they're healthy, adding another piece or two, like that can be an incredibly dangerous team. Same with the Timberwolves, can be an incredibly dangerous team if they get 1 or 2 players that really kind of push the envelope.
Yeah.
So I think next year is going to be really tough. I do see the positivity in the young players that the Warriors have.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be fighting within the next 2-3 years, but I don't necessarily know if they will be. We see Stephen A. We see oh my God, who's the guy from PTI?
Wilbon,
saying that next year is, they're going to win this again. I'm not too sure about that.
Well, they are the favorites for said
absolutely.
reasons.
But they're going to have a difficult time out in the West. But I do like Moody coming up, Kuminga coming up, Poole getting more action there, Clay having another, more time to get back into kind of Clay's
I mean, at his age, though, I think he's only
yeah.
going to decline more than he's going to get better.
I think offensively he can get back into that groove. Defensively, it's going to be a decline.
I thought, like, it was just so weird because, like, Boston was the best defensive team in the league from January until the finals, basically, right?
Yeah. And Golden State was number 2.
Yeah. And I said all playoffs, I was like, man, Boston, like, they need a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what ultimately reared its head because just a ton of bad turnovers. But as the season wore on, I mean, not the season, the series, the finals wore on, it became more abundantly clear to me that Boston was very lucky that Chris Middleton got hurt and that Miami was banged up. Because, you know, like, I'm not being a homer here. Milwaukee took the Boston Celtics to 7 games with literally Giannis scoring 40 points a game and nobody else really doing shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you get Chris Middleton's production. I mean, Chris Middleton was really good in the NBA Finals last year. And on top of that, he's really good against the Boston Celtics primarily. So they probably win that game and things play out a little bit different. But you know what? That's how the cookie crumbles, dude.
Yep.
You know what? It takes luck to win a championship, dude. And they always say that luck favors the most prepared, right? So, you know, next year's a different year.
Exactly.
I think the craziest thing to me is, like, I think Golden State has a better opportunity at getting back to the finals than Boston does.
I agree as well. Especially because we don't know what's going to happen with Marcus Smart.
Well, I mean, Boston's got to get a point guard, dude. Like,
exactly.
That, and they're up against a cat. Like, they don't have much room to operate. So
exactly,
I don't know how they're gonna do it. My biggest concern for Golden State, which I was gonna get to in a minute when we got to the future odds, is you were mentioning their young players, and I think what oftentimes people forget is that NBA players love to win championships, but you know what they love more than NBA championships, Ben? Money. And they got 3 guys on rookie deals that they're expecting to be better. And I guarantee you, Kuminga's agent, like, he was drafted top 6, right?
Yep.
If he's coming off the bench next year,
7.
7.
We were 7 and 14.
But still a lottery pick.
Yep.
Right? Kuminga's agent is going to be like, you know, look, if you guys aren't going to play him, if you're going to have him coming off the bench, trade him.
Yeah.
And I was trying to explain this to someone I know that's a Warriors fan, because he was like, oh, this team's just going to keep carrying on forever. I was like, be careful a little bit, because, like, you know, Curry's still Curry. You know, until they retire, they're not really going to take a back seat. So, like, all these other guys are going to be taking a back seat.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's a business, and you can't blame them, because, like, your second contract is basically, like, your biggest contract.
Yeah.
So when you come into the league, you're playing for your second contract. And we saw this happen with the Boston Celtics when they went to the finals when Kyrie Irving got hurt, or the Eastern Conference Finals. Remember when Kyrie got hurt? Mm-hmm. And, like, Rozier had a good year, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. That was Tatum's rookie year. And then you saw the next season, like, Boston just imploded because they had all these young guys that were like, I want to be that dude because I want to get my next contract. I want to get a max contract.
Yeah.
So I think that could be dangerous. Obviously, the Warriors have a great culture, great head coach. Kenny Atkinson decides to stay back, which could also mean that Kerr could be leaning towards retirement sooner rather than later, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on Kenny Atkinson?
I was definitely surprised to see that he rescinded the verbal agreement with Charlotte. It was it was a little it was crazy to see that the Warriors had 3 coaches on the bench for those final few games. Basically 3 head coaches, Jackson in SAC now.
Yeah.
And that this coaching core was really going to be decimated for next year. So I don't necessarily know
next
if that's
guy up, dude. They lost Luke Walton.
True.
It's just next guy up.
I don't necessarily think that Kerr is going to be retiring anytime soon. He's still pretty
Remember,
young.
he has that back issue.
Yeah, but I don't think that necessarily plays too much into.
He may not retire. He may, like, take a front office job with the Warriors. Because remember, he was a GM for the Phoenix Suns before. He was a broadcaster after his career, then a GM for the Suns, then went back to broadcasting, then went to head coaching with the Warriors. So I don't know, like it's just weird, like because most guys want to be head coaches. The Charlotte job is arguably the best job available in the offseason.
Yep.
So like what would entice him to step down from that job? You know what I mean? Like you have a future superstar in LaMelo Ball.
Yep.
And a lot of cap room coming up. So I just doesn't make a ton of sense to me, other than the fact that like there could be an agreement that, hey, Kerr in a year or two is going to go into the front office and then it's your job. Because remember, when he was the head coach of Brooklyn, that was before KD and Kyrie got there.
Yeah.
And he did really well with the young talent they had. So he's good. He's great at developing young talent. That's what he's good at. So he would be like the perfect man to succeed Steve Kerr once they have that younger talent.
Yeah. Well, I think it definitely could have been, since since we won, we're going to give you a better contract too, give you a little bit more money. And, if that money was, part of the issue, that kind of changes things. Having to start anew, I mean, not necessarily start anew, but that's a very young team compared to a Warriors team that's very settled. And, working with your best friend in Kerr, working with, players that you already know you have good, connections with, can definitely boost your morale there. So,
I mean, look at Luke Walton.
Yeah.
He may never get another head coaching opportunity ever again.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe he's waiting for next year or a year after, where, yes, it's not LaMelo, but there could be another huge hole to open up. Maybe he goes back to the Nets if, things don't work out in that first half of the season.
I don't know, dude, because KD and Kyrie basically fucking gave him the boot, dude. So if
That's
KD's
true.
there, I doubt he's ever going back there.
That's very true. But who knows? There may be, you may be right. There may be agreements that Kerr's got another 2 years and then he gets the position. Who knows? Maybe he goes into assistant GM position.
Because Curry's what? He's like 36.
Curry's young. I think he's a little bit older than that. Oh, I'm sorry. Curry or Kerr?
Curry. He's 36, right?
He is 34.
Oh, damn. He's only 34. Okay.
So
yeah, I mean, he probably got like 6 more years left to play, especially the way he plays.
Years, yeah.
I mean, maybe not the high level, but
yeah. Well, but and talking about the young guys too, like I can see Clay taking a step back and maybe not being, maybe being that 6-man, still getting 25 minutes a night, but maybe not being that starter. And you get,
I think the issue with Jordan Poole is that like he would be the 2 guard, but he basically was unplayable at times in that finals because they kept fucking playing him off the court. Yeah. So that's only going to become like, he'll be good in the regular season, but that's going to become an issue. Because the thing is like if Curry isn't there, because that's why, because him and Curry both like aren't great defensively one-on-one, right? So if you have both of them on the court, it just makes it a little bit easier. And you're going to have an older Clay.
Yeah.
Plus, who knows if Moody could very well progress and be that guy, Who knows? We don't know. So I think there's just a lot of question marks about Golden State. Yep. Obviously, like the culture. What happens
with Wiseman?
Man,
there's another huge question there.
I have heard from a source, a very reliable source, a source that is a runner for an NBA agent, that the Golden State Warriors will be shopping James Wiseman in the offseason.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Because I think they're going to keep Looney.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to keep Looney and then kind of develop Kuminga to eventually take Draymond's spot. And he'll probably be a lot better than Draymond because he's got a much higher ceiling,
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be the plan. And then, because you can find centers and all throughout the draft, what I mean? And they develop well. So, they could take a guy in the second round that could eventually be the kind of, because I mean, look at Kevon Looney. It's not like he's going out there and dropping 2010. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they just need a big guy that can set screens and rebound, basically.
And rebound, yep.
That's all you need to do.
That was the biggest aspect of Looney's kind of the series, was Looney's offensive rebounds. That was huge.
Yep. And
Absolutely
I've heard
huge.
reports that like some other teams are gonna throw some money at Looney, but I can't imagine the team's gonna like give him enough money where he's gonna leave the situation he's in. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
he's been with the Warriors his whole career. Like, he's in a good situation. Like, why leave it for? I can't imagine some team's gonna be like, "Hey, we'll give you $20 million a year."
Yeah. What about Jordan Poole? What about him heading out?
What to that
You know,
Sacramento
and
Kings? Well,
yeah,
he's under contract, so
yeah, but he'd be great trade bait.
yeah. I mean, if the Kings offer you the 4th pick, I mean, to me that's a no-brainer, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
But dude got literally, he was unplayable at times in the finals, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm
He had a good
not
first, second round, but
I'm not gonna pay a guy that kind of money. I mean, if you think that he can be Steph Curry after Steph Curry retires, then I don't think you do it.
yeah.
Do the Warriors think that? I don't know. The Warriors are much smarter than me. Personally, me though, I don't think that he'll ever be Steph Curry's level. So, I mean, why not get what you can? I mean, top 4
Yeah.
pick this year, you can get
Yep.
Jaden Ivey, maybe Paolo Banchero, maybe even Chet Holmgren, depending on who falls. Jabari Smith. In my opinion, those are guys that have much higher ceilings than Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
I doubt the Kings are gonna do that though. That sounds fucking outrageous, dude.
It
It's
would
been
be
going around the
something
internet
Kings do,
today. I think someone with a blue check mark tweeted it out. It was either Woj or someone, but I was just like, only the fucking Kings would do
Exactly.
that, dude.
Yep.
Only the Kings, bro.
Yep.
Let's touch on some of these odds though, Ben, for next season. Obviously, like you said, the Warriors have the best odds. This is consensus, by the way, so you aren't going to find these odds at necessarily any one book. This is just odds from consensus of the top 5 books. Warriors plus 562, Celtics plus 612, the Nets in that whole fiasco plus 650, which I think is more of a whatchamacallit, like the books taking less risk because the Nets could potentially, like, you never know when you have Kevin Durant, right?
Yep.
Clippers plus 675, another one. You know, who knows if Kawhi and Paul George will ever be healthy at the same time.
Yep.
And then Giannis at plus 762, Suns plus 875, Heat plus 1400, Sixers plus 1450. I think they're only going to be worse.
Yep.
And then the Grizzlies, which I think is a pretty fair play, plus 1450, because I think they're only going to get better.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
what's your thoughts on some of these odds here? I think when I look at this, the Jazz are probably the one that I wouldn't touch at all because they're going to get way worse.
Yeah.
The Pelicans
Jazz,
plus,
I mean, at plus 4,250.
yeah, that's hella long shot, but still, dude, I had Fitzpatrick plus 3,400 to win the U.S. Open. He won the U.S. Open. Anything is possible.
That's very true. I would look at. I mean, there's a couple teams that I might throw some money on. Yeah, I definitely would throw a little bit on the Clippers because there is that possibility that they do get healthy at the right time at the end of the season, which really could push things into, a good playoff run. The Bucks, I don't think you can ever count them out with Middleton and Giannis together there, and Drew Holiday's coming back too, right?
Yeah, no, he's still signed. Those three are signed, but
yeah,
they definitely got to improve their roster a little bit.
But it's more of tinkering instead of
Overhaul.
making big changes there.
Yeah.
So I think you could throw some money there. I think you're right. Grizzlies at plus 1450 is a great line there because, like we said, they're just getting a year older and they've got a lot of young guys there that really were impressive this season and in the first round of the series against the Warriors, but they just didn't get things done. And I think having a little bit more experience can push them to that next level. Is it finals worthy? I don't know. They're going to have to step up there. I can't count the Warriors out at plus 560, 550. Again, it's going to be tough with the way that the West is coming back. So, I mean, I think there's a few there that you could throw a little bit of change on to, hedge your bets.
Yeah, I think one of the ones I would I was more looking at this earlier, and I was like, who am I absolutely staying away from here?
Yeah.
And the teams I came away with was I'm definitely staying away from the Heat because they're getting older.
Yep.
And I don't know where they're going to be next year, right? And
I'm
then
staying away from the Celtics.
Celtics would be another good one because I don't know if they'll ever. They got to get a point guard, and they don't have a ton of money left.
No, they're going to have to get rid of Smart to, their number one defender to get rid of or to get a good point guard there.
Yeah. So I mean, some of these are very very interesting.
I wouldn't go with the Sixers. I wouldn't go with the Nets. I wouldn't go
Mavericks, maybe. Luka. I would go with Luka to win whatchamacallit, to win MVP next year. I think that's a good bet.
He needs help, and they don't.
But to win MVP, he don't need help to win MVP.
Oh no! To win MVP, but to win the finals,
Yeah.
He needs help, and I think they're a little ways away from that. I can't believe the Lakers are plus 1,900.
Yeah, no, the Lakers being. I mean, that's just because Laker fan. There's a lot of Laker fans, and they're gonna put money. So
bets, yeah.
Book doesn't want to be liable in case, who knows, dude? Because you put that bet down now, and they make a trade that makes them even better, and it's a whole new ball game. So I understand why they did that.
New coach?
Nah,
no shot. But no, I get you. Lakers fans are Lakers fans, so they're gonna bet it.
yeah, no,
There's no shot.
I don't think so.
What about
either.
Rockets plus 137,500? Magic plus 137,500.
If you want to donate money, just call me.
Dude, imagine that though. You put a $10 bet on that and they win it, you're looking at 1.375 million.
Well, I think the one thing though, Ben, is that we know of is like the NBA is usually like it's usually the teams that like we know who the top teams are pretty much right away. That's why I think this is interesting. I don't think there's necessarily like anyone that's a long shot that I would take. You know what I mean? Like, I think the longest shot I would play is the Grizzlies plus 1450 because they're definitely going to get better and improve because they were so young, and a lot of them, this was only their second playoff series, right?
Yeah,
and they honestly look better against the Warriors than the Celtics did.
Yeah,
so that's that's confidence building for a team like that, in my opinion.
And I think you could put Denver Nuggets at plus 1675. You're gonna get Michael Porter back. You're gonna get Jamal Murray back to go with Jokic. There's a shot.
I mean, there's always a shot.
They've got Gordon, Barton, Morris.
There's always a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be interesting. Man, I'm looking forward. I can't wait. The draft is on Thursday.
Yeah.
I was literally up until 1:30 in the morning last night watching clips of NBA prospects. I started making my my mock draft.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten all the way through, but I've got a good, like, I watched a ton of college hoops, obviously, and I'm very much looking forward to this. I think a lot of teams can very much improve their roster, and I think it's going to be a wild NBA draft because I think a lot of contending teams are going to be making some trades.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But man,
maybe we'll do something for draft night. Maybe we'll get some of those like signed jersey boxes or something and open them up, see who we get.
We should, and give them away for people that subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure to go to our YouTube and subscribe because we need subscribers so we can get our own personal domain.
Yeah, so and we're going to be just for everybody out there, we are going to be doing a promotion for July to push the subscriptions up for YouTube. So make sure to be looking out for that. We're going to be giving away a Devour box, and we're going to be giving away something sports related as well. We haven't quite figured out what that giveaway is going to be yet for the sports aspect of it. But all you'll have to do is show us that you subscribe to the YouTube, and that's all you'll need. Easy way to be put into this raffle.
And you'll absolutely be helping us because we need to get that www.youtube.com/ Taproom Sports Podcast. So please help us brothers out. Go to youtube.com, search Taproom Sports Podcast, and then subscribe to our page.
Subscribe button,
and you will be notified every time we go on air. And trust me, man, you want to go on air because your boy is red hot right now. So
that's true.
Tail me while I'm hot before I go fucking ice cold, because it's gonna happen at some point, dude.
Very true.
But Ben, let's take a break real quick. We'll hop back in here. We got some
Let's talk some NHL.
Oh, you want to go NHL first?
Let's go NHL.
All right, I got half a beer anyway, so that makes sense.
Me too.
All right, so game 2 on Saturday, bloody, bro.
Oh yeah,
bloody Sunday, but it was bloody Saturday. Colorado absolutely beat the dog shit out of the Tampa Bay Lightning, 7-0.
Nice way of putting it.
And it wasn't even close, dude. Like, it was I felt like Colorado absolutely fucking dominated that game, Ben. Like, absolute pure domination.
Yep.
And then Stamkos comes on after, and he's like, "Oh, we've been down 2-0 last round." It's like, yeah, buddy, this ain't the Rangers.
The finals. Yeah, this isn't the Rangers.
This is not the Rangers, dude. Like, this team literally just utterly dominated you.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your thoughts on this series, dude? Does Tampa have a chance? Plus 410 right now, Ben, to win the series.
I think that's too low. I don't think there's a chance. It's no team has come back in a finals from 2-0 to win the series, and I think this is just going to be another one. And I think the big aspect of this is, they're the Avalanche firepower. Not only did they score 1, 2, 3, 4 goals 5-on-5, they got 2 power plays and a shorthanded goal. Yeah. So it doesn't matter who's on the ice. It doesn't matter like what the situation is. Colorado is coming in hot. And I told you, like I told everyone that Colorado is something else, that nobody is going to beat Colorado this year. And it's just coming into, fruition. I think game 1 was close because the Avalanche had those 9 days off in between the series. And even then they came out hell of a lot stronger than I thought. The second and third period were kind of duds in that game, but that the overtime goal was done and over with quick. And Vasilevsky is not looking like he's the best goalie in the league right now. I mean, he allowed all 7 goals, and they interviewed the coach after the game and said, he said they wouldn't even take him out because they knew he wouldn't come out. So it's definitely got to be on him. I think his save percentage is .823 in the finals right now compared to his .923 prior to it. And 10% is huge, especially when you're going against a team like Colorado. So I think that I still think Tampa Bay can take a game, but I think that's going to be about it, is a single game. I think it'll be 4-1.
Yeah, I mean, I said in the beginning of the series, I said Colorado might win this series 4-1.
Yep.
I mean, I had that Edmonton future, which was like a long shot, obviously. I was hanging on a prayer.
Yeah.
And I took that Rangers one because they were just hot. Lose that game 3. I mean, it's wraps for them.
Yeah.
And I feel like Colorado was going to beat the shit out of either of those teams.
Oh,
Rangers or Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just so much better. And you mentioned it, that it just comes at you in waves because they scored 7 goals, Ben, and their best scorer didn't even score 1.
Yep.
And that's pretty. If I were to tell you before game 2 and I was like, hey, Ben, Colorado's going to score 7 goals and McKinnon will not score a single one of them, you would have been like, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Well, I think just the defensive prowess that Colorado is even pushing on this is impressive too. Not
Tampa
only
can't even get it in the fucking zone, dude.
Exactly. They can't get it in the zone. They had 25 total shots last game. 9 of them blocked for a total of 16 on goal.
Sure.
Like, they can't do anything, and that is.
And they don't have the kind of bodies to fucking chip it in and chase. Like, they don't have big guys that can like control the forecheck like that. So they're really fucked, dude.
Yeah.
Is basically what I'm saying. Like, they gotta hope for power play goals, which they haven't been very good at, and they gotta hope for like breakaway goals.
Yeah.
That's their only hope, dude.
I do think this game game 3 could be the game that Tampa Bay wins in the series, just being the first at home, and coming into a crazy home crowd. It's either going to be 3 or 4 that they win, and I think that the game or the series is over in Colorado for Game 5.
Like, I like what you're saying, and I tend to agree with you. However, I would not put US dollars on Tampa Bay tomorrow.
No, I'm not putting. I am putting a bet on this game towards Tampa Bay, but it's not for them to win.
Yeah, just
and I don't understand how they're favored.
Well, they're not. Well, slightly. I mean, they're a pick 'em basically.
Yeah, slight favor, and
basically home ice is their favorite edge.
Yeah,
is their edge.
Minus Tampa Bay minus. Oh, I guess minus 1.5 is plus 220. So.
I mean, if you like Tampa, you are absolutely 100% hoping that Vasilevsky bounces back.
Yeah,
this isn't the Rangers, Ben.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not.
So I just don't. I don't like. He is a great goalie. He's the best goalie in this series.
Yeah.
But Tampa is just something. I mean, I'm sorry. Colorado is just something else, man.
Yep. It's
the thing you said.
Incredible.
They come at you in waves. That was exactly the pinpoint analysis of this series, dude. It's like they just kept coming at Tampa, and I just don't see it stopping.
And it's offense and defense,
this might be a sweep, Ben.
It could be. It could very well be. You are going to have Burakovsky did not make the trip, so he is injured. He did get a goal and an assist in that 7-0 game. That is going to be a little bit of a hit on, I believe, their first line. I think he's the top left winger. But still.
What's he out with?
Doesn't
say. Just my app just said out.
Let me see.
So we taking Tampa then?
No.
87% of the money, or hold on, I lied. 74% of the money on Colorado. I mean, dude, I'm not betting against Colorado. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not doing it. I mean, this is just a no play for me.
It's a lower body injury, so that's something about hockey is they don't tell you what it is, but lower body.
This either a stay away bet for me, or I'm gonna take a McKinnon to be anytime goal scorer. Because you got to score a goal. At some point, you got to score a goal.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. All right, let's take a break real quick. We'll hop back in here. We'll talk some Major League Baseball. And then we will get to our best bets as well. But we got a lot of baseball to cover. If you love baseball, you're going to want to stay tuned with us throughout the summer because, y'all, we got nothing else after in a couple, maybe in like three days, we might be out of everything else but baseball. So you definitely want to lock in because I love baseball. Ben loves baseball. Ervin loves baseball. And then we'll also be talking college football and NFL. We'll be previewing every Monday. We're previewing a division. Tomorrow, Ervin and I are going to be joined by Brian Lewis, who, Ben, we had on last year for the draft. Brian is a very knowledgeable football guy. So join us tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. Brian will be, he's on the East Coast, so he'll be joining us at midnight 30 his time. So definitely tap in for that. It's going to be fucking great. We'll be right back. Y'all stay locked and loaded with us. And then we're going to be talking some Major League Baseball, Ben.
There we go.
So we'll be right back. What's up, everybody? Sorry, a little technical difficulties there. We are back. Thank you for staying locked with us. We had to get our second beers ready. Well, actually, I don't have a beer. But
What?
I got a cider for my second one.
Okay, that counts.
Well, something a little
That
different.
counts.
Ben, you got work tomorrow?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Damn,
We
on
don't
the
get
holiday?
Juneteenth off. Yeah.
Oh man, what a racist
Yep.
organization you work for.
Institution, I guess. No, I can't say that. Can't say that.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, lower that shirt down.
Doesn't your name tag on the screen is blocking it, so it don't even matter.
Yeah. No, we don't have Juneteenth off. Kind of surprised we had it off last year, but
Holy shit.
uh-oh. Oh, bright green on the beer tonight. So while Jordan's pouring that, I'm gonna get into my second beer because I got a cool one coming in, and this is out of Oakland. This is Federation Brewing out of Oakland. This is called Ladybug Luck. This is a white IPA with prickly pear. And white IPAs are going to be kind of a mix between the American IPA and then your Belgian wit beer. So it's definitely going to be a little more. It's going to have a little bit more of a funk to it. It's going to have a bite to it, which you don't necessarily see within your regular IPAs. So again, this is Federation Brewing Company coming out of Oakland, California, and it's coming in at 5%. 5% here. So Ladybug Luck. We'll see how it is.
Ladybug Luck.
Had prickly pear. I had to get it.
Nice, dude. I like it.
It is also, sorry, I gotta put this out. It is also part of the Pink's Boots Society. So
Nice.
gotta shout out to all the female brewers, bartenders, and women in the brew industry. So
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Ben, I'm sipping on a cider. It's called the No Sleep Till Hippo. It's a cider with pandan,
Ooh.
mango, and key lime. Which I'm guessing gets the green. It's from Newtopia Cider. Newtopia Cider is out of San Diego, California. I've had a few of their ciders on here. They usually do like collaborations with other breweries or like farms because they have like utilize fresh fruits. So their ciders are really good if you're a cider fan. I'm not necessarily the biggest cider fan per se,
Ciders
but
are great.
But what?
Ciders are great. And Newtopia
they're really sugary sometimes, so
it is true.
Try to stay away from them, but I
can't
mean,
drink a lot
look at
of them,
this,
but-
dude.
Yeah.
Like, dude, this is green as fuck. Like, this might kill me.
Nah.
It's like drinking fucking Nos, dude. Remember that energy drink, Nos?
Yeah, but it's still out there.
Oh, and that drink still exists?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
I still see it. I don't think I've ever drinking one, but I've seen people drink them, and yeah, they're that neon green.
Bro, remember Redline?
Yep.
Oh my god. And then that one dude died of a heart attack, and that basically fucking killed Redline forever.
Doesn't surprise me.
Shit, that shit was fucking crazy. Hey, before we get started on the MLB, I didn't even mention how bad Jason Tatum was in the finals.
Yeah,
I know I mentioned it a little bit, but that was literally the worst finals performance from a quote unquote star since LeBron James in 2011, which does give him some hope because, you know, LeBron bounced back, won 4 titles. So maybe he does that. Maybe he doesn't. Who knows? That was pretty fucking bad.
It's a big task. And then, yeah, it was a really bad series for Jason. But
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was awful. But let's talk about some Major League Baseball, Ben. So we're really coming into the season. If you joined me and Ben last, what was it, Tuesday, we talked some MLB futures, the division.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, we kind of went over some future prices for the MLB divisions, and we kind of pretty much agreed on a lot of them, except for a couple of divisions. We also agreed that a couple of divisions might be already over the division races. So,
easily. Yep.
You know, we're gonna obviously get into our top 5 power rankings shortly, but there was some big happenings this week in Major League Baseball, and a lot has to do with some injuries, Ben. So, you know, the Padres, 41 wins. They were in first place heading into the series against the Rockies. The Rockies absolutely fucking own them.
Swept them, yeah.
Which is crazy. That's 2 sweeps in a row for the Rockies against them.
Is it? Okay.
and 10 in a row in Colorado against San Diego.
Yeah. Nuts.
But Manny Machado today injures his ankle. The team is saying his X-ray was negative, so it's just a sprained ankle. But I mean, that looked nasty.
It did not look good. The way that he slipped off and then landed kind of at an angle on his foot.
I thought it was broken, dog.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. And it wouldn't be surprised if there, is some, I mean, we obviously saw that it was negative. The X-rays were negative, but some lasting damage with that ankle where just it's not as strong as
it once was.
It once was, and that's that's a big ankle. It's his dominant ankle for hitting, and when you're playing third, you've got to take those quick pivots, and that could cause some issues, in the field for him too. So
I think it's a massive blow too, Ben, because he was MVP level.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Top 3
and then
MVP.
We get bad news, from the Tatis, timeline that he's not progressing, in this last, MRI as much as they had hoped. So he's going to be pushed back a little bit longer too.
I mean, we mentioned this on Tuesday that it seemed a little weird that they originally said June, and then it's just been getting pushed back. I mean, it didn't sound good at all. So
yeah,
I mean, are we surprised at that?
No.
It sucks. It absolutely sucks because that's a team that was contending for that division. If you're a Giants fan, though, you got to be extremely
loving it.
Optimistic now because opens the door. Plus, we find out Saturday night Mookie Betts heading to the IL because of a cracked rib.
Yep.
It's a month to 2 months, and Walker Buehler is out for probably the year because it's a flexor tendon in his elbow, which is usually Tommy John. They usually try to delay it because they think rest can do it. He's already had Tommy John once before. So
Max Muncy was practicing this week too, and they said his his throwing was up and down, so they didn't really think that he's quite ready to come back yet too. Or sorry, Dustin May,
no, he's not ready. And they're going to hold him back as long as they can, but I think the biggest thing that this does is the Dodgers are obviously pretty deep, but I mean, you lose Buehler and you lose Mookie Betts. I mean, that's 2 key injuries. Like, I think they have to start whatchamacallit? I think they have to start navigating the trade market ASAP, which means that they may have to overpay. But if you're a team like the Dodgers, Ben, you kind of have to do it because you're in win now mode. I mean, you're going to be in win now mode forever. You've been in win now mode for 18 years. Like, it's not going to change, right? So, but they have to do it.
Yep. They've got pitching issues. They've now have fielding issues. And it's going to come back and, really cause some problems later down the line if they don't address this right now. I mean, I still think they're a lock to make the playoffs, but
I mean, maybe
where in that kind of playoff run.
If you think they're a lock to make the playoffs, you are absolutely banking on Tony Gonsolin and Tyler Anderson to continue pitching the way they're pitching.
It's true.
Are they going to be sub 2.5 ERA pitchers?
Injuries to come back, strong, because they have a lot of starting and rotation. Yeah, they got a lot of starting and rotation injuries going right now.
But Buehler may not be back. He may need Tommy John surgery. He might not be back. And Mookie is at least a month to 2 months out.
Yeah. And the problem with Mookie, too, is that that's going to impact his hitting. That's going to impact his throwing. That's going to impact his running.
Well, as long as he doesn't play hurt. I've broken 3 ribs before. I mean, I'm not Mookie Betts, obviously.
But you have to fully recover out of those. So you're at least going to be out for a month before you can even get that full recovery there.
Yeah. And being a hitter, you like lose timing. Yeah. Right. You lose all that kind of shit. So.
And he was hot. He was super hot.
Yep. So that's a huge blow. But I mean, there's options out there for them to trade. I just think they might have to do it sooner rather than later, which could get them into a bidding against themselves type scenario. You know what I mean? Because most teams don't wait till the deadline to see what they need, whereas they might need to go do that now. So let's say I think the Oakland Athletics are a perfect trade partner for them because they can go trade for Laureano and Frankie Montas, right? Outfield and starting pitcher. But who else is actually negotiating for those guys right now? So the Dodgers may be like, hey, we'll give you, our top three of our top 6 prospects and Cody Bellinger for these 2 guys. Or I'm not saying like Gavin Lux or whatever.
Yeah.
But they might not be able to afford to give up Gavin Lux or Cody Bellinger right now at the same time. So they're going to have to give up more prospects. It's going to be interesting, man. It's definitely going to be interesting. Definitely had to touch on that because that was some huge things.
Both of those injuries are crucial to the NL West.
Yep. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on, because I know this team isn't in our top 5 at all because they're not good against good teams, is the Toronto Blue Jays, who had a series against the Yankees this weekend. Yep. Alek Manoah pitched one of the games. They got fucking destroyed in that game. I mean, this is a team that I said it after a month. I was like, this is a good team, but it's not a great team. Yeah. And then they went on that hot streak, and we were all like, okay, maybe they are bouncing back. Yeah. But then I dug deeper, and I was like, hold on, let's pump the brakes, because since May, they're 7-14 against teams over 500, and 17-6 against losing teams, Ben. So, with runners in scoring position, the only teams that are worse are teams that are in dead last, which are the Pirates, A's, D-backs, Cubs, and Orioles. But keep in mind, the Orioles in the last 30 days have been really good. They were just so dog shit in the first month of the season. It really fucking held them back.
I don't know if we could say that they've been really good.
No, I'm saying really good with runners in scoring position. They took their average with runners in scoring position from 201 to 230 in a month. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah. Okay. That I'll give you. I thought you were talking about the Orioles as a whole.
Well, I mean, hey, Ben.
I can't say that.
Ben, they won 30 games as of today. You know how many games it took them to win 30 games last year?
I'm sure more than 68, but
yeah, like 120.
Again, that still doesn't mean that they're a good team.
They're a good team.
They're a better team than they were last year.
They're going to give teams dude, they just won a series against the Rays and the Blue Jays back to back.
Yeah.
That's a good team, dude. They're going to be a nuisance to that division, dude.
In 2 to 3 years.
No, but I'm saying they're going to be a nuisance to that division this year because they're going to compete hard and they're going to beat good teams. I mean, they've already played the Yankees hella tough.
Yeah.
I think they're like 500 against the Yankees. I think the only team in the division that has a winning record against them is the fucking Red Sox.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the Yankees haven't lost too many games, so
yeah, but they lose to the Orioles.
That's very true. That's very, very true. Let's see, versus the Yankees. How are the Orioles? Pulling that up right now.
My Baltimore Orioles. Well, actually, Paisley's Baltimore Orioles. My daughter is a huge Orioles fan, by the way.
Okay,
to everyone out there.
First series they won 2-1. Second series they got swept. Third series they lost 3-1. Sorry, they lost 1-3. Next series 1-2.
4-9.
Yeah.
Damn. So the Yankees are basically, they only have 4 more games left against the 4 or 5 more games left against the Orioles.
Yep.
All right. So but I mean, they played them tough, dude. I mean, the Yankees only have how many losses on the year? They only have like 20 losses, and fucking 5 of them have come against the Orioles.
They play 6 more games against the Orioles.
17 losses, and 5 of them have come against the Orioles, Ben.
Yeah.
Hey, Paisley's Orioles, dude.
Yeah.
Telling you, bro, in 2 years, they're going to be the best team in that division, hands down. They will be the team to beat in the AL East. Mark my words, dude. Write it down. Screenshot this shit. Save this podcast. In 2 years, the Baltimore Orioles will win the AL East.
With the team that they have now, they can. But
yeah, but they have such young players.
Their history of doing stupid shit with their players, though,
like what?
Wouldn't surprise me.
They actually do good, smart things.
They don't pay him.
No, they do. Yeah, they do. They paid Adam Jones. The problem is they paid Chris Davis, who fucking had a career year, and then he was never the same again. That's what killed them, dude. That's actually what set them back, was that they did pay him. Now, the Orioles are a great franchise, bro. I was in Baltimore last year. Some of the most awesome fans I've ever encountered, dude, were Baltimore Orioles fans. Like, they were all hella friendly. I was there by myself, and they were, like, including me in the party. I was, like, standing there, and this table was like, hey, man, like, what's going on? I was like, oh, I'm just here for the weekend. They were like, come join us. It's like, hey, Orioles. I'm really not an Orioles fan, but my daughter is now.
There we go.
She loves the Orioles, man.
She just likes the bird.
She literally told me today, because we were playing, she has this game where it has, like, it's basically like, what's that game where you throw the beanbags? Cornhole?
Yeah.
It's basically like cornhole, but it's like not
Kids.
coins, but it's like circular metal things, and they're colored. Okay. And I had green and yellow, so I was like, oh, I'm the A's. And she's like, I have blue and red. It's not orange and black like the Orioles, but
love it. Love it. Let's go, Pays.
Yeah. She's already learning. But let's get into
orange to
No, Giants, no, sir. No, sir.
Use my uncle influence to.
No, sir. Will not happen. Will not happen, Ben. I promise you that.
We'll see.
But let's get into our top 5 teams of the week. So, last week, Ben, I know I got some movement.
I have a little bit of movement here.
Okay, what's your top 5 look
my
like?
top 4 are actually staying the same, but the bottom is changing. We're gonna go honorable mention. We're gonna go to San Diego Padres. 5-5 this in the last 10, 4-3 this last week. They did sweep the Cubs, but they did get swept by the Rockies. And Machado injury, like we talked about earlier, it does look pretty nasty for an ankle sprain. They do have 5 against the Diamondbacks and 3 against the Phillies before heading to LA. So this could be some big games without Machado in there. And Diamondbacks, not great, but if they, without Machado, who knows what they can do against the Padres. And then the Phillies are heating up. We've talked about that a little bit last week. So honorable mention is going to go to San Diego. For number 5, I have a tie. I have a tie between the Atlanta Braves and the San Francisco Giants. Atlanta 8-2 in their last 10.
San Francisco, man.
Damn straight. 4-2 this last week, and coming off that big 14 game streak, they had a tough series, losing 2 of 3 against the Cubbies, and that's definitely rough. And I mean, San Francisco basically has the same line, 4-2 this last week. Would have swept the Pirates, but Sawinski 3 home runs today, which was, I mean, lights out for this kid. Awesome, good job for him. But they do have this the series coming up against the Braves, and I think they can go. If they can go 2-2, they've got the Reds and the Tigers after. They can really really push the envelope here to move up while San Diego is down.
I'll play some sorry ass teams this week too.
How are your A's doing?
I mean, dude, let's not go there, dude.
All right, so number 4, we're gonna go with the Dodgers. 5-5 this last week. 5-5 in their last 10, 3-2 this last week. Slide continues. Take both games against the Angels. Who doesn't? But then they lose 2 of 3 to the Guardians. And today's game really that hurt with the losing in the 9th to the Guardians there. I think it's going to be interesting how long Mookie's injury takes. Again, we talked about it, throwing, batting, and running. They do have enough firepower, but they can't seem to put it together right now. So next 9 games are on the road, where they are a little bit better, but they haven't played too many difficult teams on the road. So this is going to be interesting to see where they end up after this week and next. Number 3, I'm going to go with Houston, 37-23 on the league, 5-5 in their last 10, 4-2 this last week. Could be the last week we see Houston at the top. The next 9 games are against the Mets and the Yankees. So if they slump through this, that's going to make this the series against the Royals and Angels could be some bad news if they get into a downhill slide here. You should be beating the Royals, A's, and Angels, but if you lose big to the Mets and Yankees, that can definitely be a dagger in their side here. So it could be tough treading for Houston coming up. Number 2, we're going to go with the Mets still, 44-24, 6-4 in their last 10, 5-2 this week. Number 2 offensive baseball, best batting average at 262. I can't believe 262 is the best batting average in the league. They really need to fix their 3.84 ERA. Still not that bad, but not that great. But with your top pitchers hurt, this could be, really good second half of the season and playoffs if they come back strong. Number 1, got to go with the Yankees. I feel like it's deja vu saying they're 9-1 their last 10 again. I think it's 3 weeks in a row that we've said that. They were on the 9-game win streak, snapped today. First time in the season that they allowed double-digit runs, which I was very surprised at. Going 68 games through this season. All right, I'm sorry, they are at 66 games this season, and the first time they've allowed double-digit runs. 7 more homers this week. The Heat keep hitting the long ball out of the park, especially with the heat and the humidity going up in New York. It could be, could be good for their offense. They just need to get runners on and then hit that long ball. Best ERA as a team, best walks per 9, best homers per 9. Team's hot.
Yep. That starting rotation is coming down to earth, though. And when it does, it's going to be nasty business. The Yankees are going to go on.
That offense doesn't push. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, the
ball flies out, especially in the heat and humidity. And
they hit a lot of solo home runs. You just can't walk batters because can't let them get on base. Yep. My top 5 teams this week. So I'm kind of with you with the San Diego Padres. Honestly, the 5th spot, I could see I can make an argument for 4 teams, but I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Braves. Just because before they got up to the Cubs, they were extremely hot. I think they have the pitching. I think losing Ozzie Albies is going to hurt them somewhat, but that is a strong enough lineup. I mean, they won the World Series without Acuna, so we've seen them do it. So I'm gonna put the Atlanta Braves at number 5. Number 4, I'm going to Astros, 41-25 on the year. The Astros are the beneficiaries of the worst division in baseball, which I alluded to earlier this season. They are a well-rounded team, but I just question if their starting pitching will hold up because Verlander got rocked by the White Sox last game. So I do question if their starting pitching can hold up. Their offense has been kind of up and down all year. When they're great, they're phenomenal, but then they go on a cold streak altogether. Yeah. And that's what I hate about teams is when they all go cold together, which brings me to the Dodgers at number 3, 40-25. They've been a little cold.
Number 3.
Yep. Well, I'm going to keep them there because they are 40-25 and they are second in run differential. Tyler Anderson and Tony Gonsolin have been absolutely incredible. Buehler going out for 6 to 8 weeks and maybe even longer. He could be out for the year. Betts going down. The Dodgers definitely have to start navigating the trade market. They need to upgrade their roster if they're going to be legit contenders. Number 2, we're going to go New York Mets. Second best record in baseball, 6-4 in their last 10, and they just keep finding ways to win, man. And it's pretty impressive because they're missing their 2 best pitchers. If those 2 guys ever get healthy, this could be a very dangerous team heading into October. But again, that is a big if because they're absolutely going to need DeGrom and Scherzer if they're going to be a World Series contender. And then number 1, we're going New York Yankees, 49-17, 9-1 in their last 10, which you just said. Just on an absolute roll, man. But I definitely expect this starting rotation to regress. And when it does, man, I think this could be nasty time for the Yankees, dude.
Yeah.
Because their bullpen's already banged up a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see how the Yankees I keep saying this isn't going to continue, and it keeps continuing. So who knows, dude? This could be like the Giants last year. But I mean, they got Jameson Taillon and Nestor Cortez who are pitching like fucking aces. Yep. I mean, their whole lineup. I mean, their whole rotation. Montgomery, Garrett Cole may be their worst starter.
Could be. Yeah, and that's surprising. That's very surprising.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It is absolutely
Let's go, y'all.
But let's get some best bets for tomorrow, Ben. I know you got a couple. Let's get to the window and let's make some money, baby. So what you got?
All right, so 1-1 last week. I'm going to change it up to going over to 2-0. The first, we are going to go with some hockey bets. We're going to go Nikita Kucherov. We're going to go over half a point. Kucherov has been on fire in these playoffs, not these last 2 games, but I think it's time for him to heat up when he gets some home cooking there. 7 goals, 16 assists in the playoffs so far, but you look at his home splits this year. In the 22 games played, he had 12 goals and 25 assists for 37 points in 22 games. This kid scores at home, and I think we can definitely look for him to be getting a point here easily with a goal or an assist. So let's put Nikita Kucherov over a half a point here. And the second bet we're going to take is the LA Angels. I can't believe I'm betting for the Angels, but we're going to go first 5 minus half a run. And that's really because Bubik sucks. 0-4 this year with an 8.36 ERA. He has just been manhandled this year in all but 1, maybe 2 starts. He played really well against Houston. Was decent against Detroit, but allowed 5 runs against Cleveland, around 5 against Seattle, 3 against the Yankees, 4 against St. Louis, 4 against Baltimore, and 3 against the Giants. It just has not been a season for Bubik. So we are going to go the Los Angeles Angels, who hit better at home, minus a half a run for the first 5 innings. We've got Noah Syndergaard on the hill.
Noah Syndergaard, Bubik, let's go. My 2 best bets of the week, I had 3 last week. I went 1, 1, and 1. I had a win, a loss, and a push. And we're going to be heading back to a similar formula. So we're going to go, first bet, we're going to go Brewers money line, Ben. We're going to take Corbin Burns. We're going to back Corbin Burns, reigning Cy Young, at home against the Cardinals since 2020, 1.84 ERA. And Nicholas is coming off a start in which he was 1 out away from no-hitter, but threw almost 130 pitches.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be a little tired. And in 2 starts against Milwaukee this season, he was giving up 7 earned runs in 12 innings. So I like the Brewers here, money line. I think this is a great value play. We are going to pay a little bit of juice. Probably get it minus 130, minus 135. But I absolutely love this bet. And then Ben is going to like this one. We're going Stanford Cardinal, minus 145. Stanford is just way too good. One of the best offenses in the country. They've only had 4 losses since April, and all 4 have been when Williams starts. And guess what? He is not starting tomorrow. And that is good news for the Stanford Cardinal, who have not lost 2 in a row since March. Give me the Stanford Cardinal in the College World Series, Ben. Let's take this. Let's go. Represent the Pac-12, Ben.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Let's go Cardinals. Got to get a big bounce back after that horrible outing that we saw on Saturday here.
I definitely expect that offense to bounce back, Ben. Way too good of an offense, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's go back to our beers. We're going to review our beers. We're going to give these a 4 out of 5 rank, or sorry, not a 4 out of 5. We're going to give them a number out of 5 ranking, and see how we go with our beers. Do you want to start? You want me to go?
You go first.
All right, so the first beer that I had was the banana bread beer, and this was out of Bedford, UK, and this was from the Eagle Brewery. This was actually a really good beer. I really enjoyed this one. I'm going to give this one a 4.5 out of 5. It was a low percentage beer coming in at 5.2%, and it had a great lager taste. It had a light banana aroma and taste to it. Little bit of a bready taste and aroma to it, but because of this was a lager, you didn't get that heavy beer. And that's something that I really worry about, those thicker bread beers, but this one didn't have that at all. It was crystal clear, great taste, great aroma, 4.5 out of 5. Not many beers go with fresh bananas in there. So I definitely got to give a heads up for that one. So nicely done, Eagle Brewing Company. The second one was the Ladybug Luck, and this was coming from Federation Brewing Company out of Oakland, California. This was a 5% beer. This was the white IPA, which is going to be a wit beer and an American IPA mixed together. This was good. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. It was crisp, had a light tartness coming from that wit beer. The only thing I would worry about this is as this beer gets a little bit warmer, you could get that really kind of overly kind of acidic, overly bitter taste into it, which is not necessarily my favorite. So it was still a great beer. I would push this as a really cold beer. Make sure you drink it quick.
On a summer day.
But exactly. Definitely drink it quick on a Sunday.
Let's go, y'all.
Great stuff. Great beers this week.
Hell yeah.
What'd you get?
My first beer, that smoothie sour ale. It wasn't the best smoothie sour ale. It's still really good. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
I think that's a fair judgment. And then the second one, this cider with the greenness. Honestly, I cannot distinct any flavors in here. Like, it's a very weird flavor profile. Maybe it's because I ate steak and like have garlic in my mouth still.
Okay.
Probably, but yeah, like I can't get a flavor profile out of it. So it's honestly, it just tastes like fucking like I don't even know what it tastes like, dude. It's just going down, bro.
Yeah.
But it's good, dude. It's good, and the color is fucking interesting, and it's an interesting cider. I'm gonna give it a 3.75 out of 5. Keep in mind, I'm not a cider fan per se, but I mean, it's good. I would drink it again. I probably wouldn't buy it again though, unless I like someone's like, "Hey, I got you on a beer here." Maybe if it's on tap, like I get it. It's all right. 3.75 out of 5. Nothing to hate on. You know what I mean? It's like it's a good beer. I mean, it's a good cider. It's a decent cider.
There we go.
Not the best, not the worst.
There we go. All right. Thank you for listening to the podcast this week. Make sure to check us out on Instagram at Taproom Sports Podcast. You can check us out on Twitter at Taproom_sports. And make sure to check us out on YouTube. If you were listening live, thank you tonight. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so we can get our www.youtube.com/
Yes,
Taproom
hit the
Sports
subscribe button,
podcast.
like, share, tell all your fucking friends.
Yep.
Tell them, come get this money, baby.
Make sure to check out our Instagram and our Twitter during the month of July for a promotional push for our YouTube channel. But make sure to come back and check out all the podcasts this week. We are going to be hitting us live for tonight and then the next 3 days coming up. Jordan and I on Sundays, Jordan and I on Wednesdays. Tuesdays, excuse me. Jordan is going to have Brian and Irv on tomorrow with him to discuss NFL football,
college
football, everything football tomorrow. It is going to be a great podcast. And then on Wednesday, Jordan, Steady Eddie, and Irv are back at it, and we will see how things go. Maybe Steady Eddie, yeah. But we will see how things go. We will talk sports. We will talk bets and really look at these betting lines coming up through the next few days.
Absolutely.
But for Jordan, stacks and stacks on stacks, lads, and for me, Big Ball and Ben Larson, we will see you on Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Also, before we get out of here, after 4th of July week, Irv and I are going to have our buddy Michael Gibson on, who also big college football guy. So we're going to be really focusing in on college football division over under win totals after 4th of July. So if you're a college football bettor, fan, like, tap in with us, baby. We got this. We got you. We are going to get you to the window. We are going to win some fucking money. Let's do this.
Love it.